this world was made for me, running all the red lights in between. Every little thing I do is drowning me. Why can't I hide it? I can't even cry. When the lights go down, it's so ordinary. And the sea of gray, sing what you're saying. Not a soul around, will you hold me steady? All night in paradise, getting high for the thrill of the scratches in the woodwork could work well for me. Cruising down the midnight highway scene. Every little thing I do for me. Why can't I hide it? I can't even cry. When the lights go down, will you hold me steady? Long nights in paradise, getting high for the thrill of all that really matters is you. All that really matters is you.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to SNU Esports. We've got a big night ahead of you guys tonight. I am going to be casting League. I may be joined by Drew at some point in the evening, but we have League coming at you here probably in the next 5 to 10 minutes. We'll get underway with Champion Draft, and then following the League series, we are going to switch right on over to Halo as they are competing. There's the schedule tonight. League going to be taking on our Baptist rivals over across the street, OBU. So going to be a good match tonight. And then afterwards, we are going to have Halo. Drew's going to hop on, take my spot. Halo's going to come in and play starting at 8:45. But let's take a closer look into the League game tonight. SNU currently #1 in the GAC for League of Legends, going to be taking on a 1-2 OBU SNU League of Legends team, looking to stay undefeated this season as they head into the night. Now, a little fun fact about the night: OBU, they're coached by a former SNU member. He originally was on the first ever League of Legends team. Daniel, if you remember, was SNU's top laner for their first ever League of Legends season. Now hopping over to OBU and coaching them throughout this year. But let's take a look at the OBU team. We've got a couple people coming in across OBU, their top laner. Now, Daniel has given us some insider information tonight and said that they're going to be maybe switching roles tonight, but Their top laner named Royal Bubbles has a very big champion pool. One of his main champions going to be a Fiddlesticks. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw a Teemo pick tonight. Would be kind of crazy, would be fun, but he does dabble over in Teemo as well. Now, when you head over to the middle lane, they've got two guys that play middle. One could be Felivore, and when we're scouting, we kind of have to scout both players out. But I do assume your Felivore guy is going to be headed over to the bottom lane ADC, so I'm gonna assume mid lane is gonna be taken by Internet Bozo. He is I want to say a LeBlanc main. Again, maybe not as big of a champion pool as Royal Bubbles, but does have a lot of games on Victor, has some games on Akali, so would kind of more of an assassin mid laner. And then when you look at their bottom lane, like I said, Felivore going to be their ADC most likely. Has been playing Vayne quite a bit, so I would expect OBU maybe to kind of stray away from a Vayne pick, knowing how aggressive SNU is at the start of every game. So we will see when it gets down to that. And then in their support lane, gonna be a toss-up. They have a couple guys on their bench that are going to sub in tonight, so we're not sure 100% on what that is going to look like. Our guys when we talked about it, we kind of thought that maybe we are gonna see kind of a more tankier support, maybe not your traditional support of a Sona or a Yumi. I know Cam loves playing Yumi and talked to him before game. He is probably going to be expected to pull that out tonight, but we will see, especially when you look at SNU's bottom lane, knowing Hydro Kaden is in that bottom lane, our highest rated champion or our highest rated player, and kind of how SNU funnels the game through Kaden, through that bottom lane with Cam as his support. So that will be one lane that we always talk about and we're always going to mention and be watching. So in the jungle, when you look at Mason had a very dominant performance last week, kind of put the team on his back in that third game, and the team really had to play through Mason making a lot of objective plays, whether it was when Dragon was spawning, was gearing up with boards, clearing boards, kind of just setting up the macro micro play. Mason just having an insane performance last week. Now, he did ask why he didn't get player of the game, and to be fair, he probably should have. Hard to not give player of the game over to Kaden, though, who did get a pinto kill last week. That highlight is up on our Instagram if you want to see that. And then on the OBU side in the jungle, we're going to have Bebo BB2000. He goes by a couple different names there, but we will be watching him this week. He is a Neferi player, so that would be a really interesting pick if he is able to get that out of champions picks and bans. Probably going to see a Viego. I know both Mason and it looks like Bebo do play Viego, so I bet you some teams are going to leave them up in order for Viego to be picked. But that is kind of the overview of tonight's match. Again, SNU looking to stay undefeated this season against a 1-2 OBU. OBU fighting for that playoff spot as they look towards the end of the season. Now, when we look at SNU Esports, we are kind of in that middle back half of the season. We're gearing up for what playoffs look like. Playoffs will be coming at you at the end of November for a lot of our games. So a lot of these games mean a ton for SNU, and it looks like here we go into the pick ban phase. And again, I'm sure we're going to probably see maybe a Nyla ban. Kaden has been playing quite a bit of that recently. So if you're just going off of his recent match history, Nyla will be probably favored in a ban. Corky ban going to come in. Again, Internet Bozo, their mid laner, #1 play champion is Corky. I kind of would have liked to see SNU maybe leave that one up a little bit, kind of force OBU into a more AD style comp, but a Galio ban going to come in for Thomas. Thomas is very heavily played with Galio. He has a top 3 in the mid lane, Galio being one of those. When I played against Thomas in the mid lane, he kind of asked me to play Orianna. He wanted to see just maybe what that matchup would look like. I would love to see Thomas maybe put Orianna in his champion pool, a very support heavy mid laner, And so it looks like we may just be banning out their mid lane, another mid lane ban coming in from SNU in that Victor slot. OBU kind of expecting to see maybe a bot lane ban here. There it is. Yuumi going to be banned out from Cam. So Cam gonna have to reach deep into his champion pool. His champion pool is more than one champion. I'll give him credit for that. But he is a very good Yuumi player. I know he has been playing Morgana recently, so may see a Morgana pick. Honestly, a first pick here from SNU would be pretty good for Morgana. And there's the Fiddlesticks ban. That is going to go over to the jungler. There's a look over. He hasn't been playing a ton of Fiddlesticks. His last 3 games have been on Fiddlesticks though, so I think SNU may be going to say, hey, we're not used to Fiddlesticks in the jungle. Very, very supportive pressure from Fiddlesticks, especially with his mass ult and mass fear. So SNU gonna ban that out, and OBU banning Mundo out on the top side. Derek, again, OBU's coach knows quite a bit about this SNU team. He did play in the alumni game, which is fun. So got to experience what SNU League of Legends is, what it looks like, and a Lulu pick. So there was the first pick support, not the Morgana I was thinking of. Gonna be the Lulu, more of a, I would say, supportive support, kind of shielding, healing, whereas a Morgana is kind of more of an aggressive support. So SNU going to play a little bit more conservative with that support pick. There is the Vayne pick coming in from OBU. And so, like I said, maybe not the greatest pick if you're OBU. Vayne just kind of very, very late game champion. And so you're going to have to really either stay alive or win early if you're OBU in order for that Vayne pick to work. Now, I'm not saying she can't hyper carry. A lot of Vaynes can, but where you're going to see Vayne the strongest is probably after that 25-30 minute mark. And so can OBU get to that and still be in a reachable distance to win the game? That's what we're going to have to find out. Emilio going to accompany Vayne in the bottom lane. So both teams going to round out their first 2 picks, picking their ADC and their support. And Caden throwing it back a little bit with the Misfortune pick here. Kind of a lot of speed from bottom, or from SNU's bottom. Lulu going to be able to give that speed buff to Misfortune. Misfortune already having a lot of movement speed in general because of her passive. And so going to be able to hunt down this Vayne in the lane. So I would expect, and Josh can hear me, so I would expect a lot of attention and a lot of focus, but just very aggressive bot lane coming in from SNU, especially with the back-to-back just speed champions trying to run down this OBU bottom lane. So gonna get a Jax. I'm not 100% sure. I want to say that probably is a Jax top, but I've never seen Derek play Jax. So maybe he recently picked up this champion. I know this past weekend they were in Clash and they did pretty well in that tournament. And so gonna see, could be flexed to the jungle, not 100% sure. Gonna have to wait and see the rest of these champions picked out. There is an Alawi going into the top lane. Again, maybe not something Derek has experienced a ton of this season. Alawi is a very, very strong top laner. So we don't know all what OBU's top lane looks like. Don't have a ton of information. Again, one of their subs coming in that top side. OBU gonna now try to ban Derek out, going for that Malphite ban. May see a Garen ban here. And I think OBU also not 100% sure if that Jax is going to go top lane or jungle. So they may try to pivot this ban out of top lane. Interesting Mel ban. I'm not sure if anyone on SNU plays Mel. Maybe they picked it up during Clash. But going to finish out their bans with Mel, SNU coming in with a Rek'Sai ban. And now going to look maybe towards an Udyr ban, I could see. Also could see maybe a J4 ban. You don't have an escape if you're an MF, and so you don't really want to be in that J4 ult, but SNU now gearing their last ban towards the mid laner again. So that's 2 bans out of OBU's mid laner. Actually 3. I forgot Corki. So Corki, Victor, and Akali, all of OBU's top 3 champions for their mid laner just got banned out. May see an Ari pick here from OBU, and that would be pretty good. Able to just kind of dash out of anything that SNU is throwing at them. Ornn going into that top side of the map, very tanky, and able to get OBU into that later game phase. Now, again, if OBU is able to survive to that 30 minutes, they have the team comp for it. But I may be lying and saying Ornn maybe looking at that jungle. Alawi, I guess, could be flex mid or top. OBU, a very interesting team comp coming in. Mordekaiser going to Derek in that top side, another one of Derek's main champions. So you're gonna see a pretty aggressive. We got to see it 2 weeks ago coming in from Derek, where he just kind of took over the top side and the top jungle of the map, and the other team just not really able to respond. And an interesting pick from Thomas. Vigar going to be coming in this mid lane, has the cage, so has just the CC ability that SNU really was looking for to round off this team comp. I would have loved to see some more CC, but Vigar's cage is a pretty big ability for him. Unfortunately, it is just kind of one of those champions where you're going to have to get your stacks on your queue in order for you to just get really ahead. And one champion you don't want to see when you pick Vigar is LeBlanc. And so LeBlanc going to come in on the mid lane for OBU. A very hyper carry mid laner in for OBU. And so now you have Vayne and LeBlanc both kind of have the ability to snowball games really hard. And so if you're SNU, you're not trying to give them a ton of resources. Again, like I said, I would love to see a Jax just kind of camping that bottom side where he's able to go up to mid, gank, head down to bottom, gank, get those kills, get the team set up for the minions to push into those towers. So we will be able to see that. But I do really like SNU's ability, and like I said, their movement speed to get around the map. And we will be able to see kind of how they use that in order to kind of put more pressure onto OBU in the objective phase. Level 1, I hope SNU stays far away from OBU's jungle, because I don't think they have the level 1 to do anything unless Lulu kind of specs into maybe not her traditional abilities right away, but we will see how that goes. And so when you look at both team comps, you got more of a movement speed, and kind of And we're back. Spectator delay is over, and we're gonna have some early action already in the bottom lane. And this is the damage that is going to come out early for SNU's bottom lane. So, like I said, when you look at a Vayne, not gonna have a good time in the first 10 to 15 minutes of this game. She is going to have to be playing for that 20 post 25 minutes in order to kind of come online and be able to do what Vayne does. But SNU kind of heeding my warning where I don't want to see them invade into this OBU team. I think a 5-stack OBU team right there is dangerous. And now we're getting the full look at OBU squad. Ornn going into their jungle and Alawi going into the top lane. So again, like I talked about early on in this game, Derek gonna get a cheesy little 5 gold right there. But like I said early on in this game, I don't know how many times Derek has been able to play in against an Alawi. I know probably not Mordekaiser's favorite matchup. I will say if Derek is able to play his ult right, he is going to be able to pull Alawi out of her ult and not have to worry about all of the damage that that is going to send. So going to be interesting when you look at that top lane. And when we go a lane by lane matchup here, LeBlanc gonna have an easier time kind of in the mid lane to put the pressure on Thomas early. But if Thomas is able to just sit back and farm up his Q, then he will be very, very good in a team fight, especially when he is able to get his cage stunned down. And SNU just kind of taking control of this bottom lane, shoving OBU out of the wave, making sure that this Vayne isn't going to be able to get any minions. And they're almost a whole wave gone for SNU, all going over to Kaden. I don't know, Josh, if we were able to get that scoreboard up, but I think Kaden able to get all of the Kaden able to get all of those minions into that bottom wave. And Derek just early fighting isn't going to want to finish that fight, is going to kind of just try to back away a little bit. Both top laners having TP. Derek going to get a Conqueror stack there, so going to be able to build up his runes a little bit more. Alawi also taking Conquerors, but not able to get those auto attacks in. And so a good job there from SNU's bottom lane, just really trying to shove Vayne out, making sure that she's going to have to try to learn how to farm under a tower. And when you're a little bit lower elo, that is one of those things that just doesn't come naturally. Elo meaning one of your ranks. OBU, unfortunately, their bottom lane is a little bit lower ranked than our bottom lane. And so Kaden going to try to take advantage of that really early and shove them into a tower. Both top lanes now are just going to have a full fight. Derek not going to win this fight if he stays at it. He has to move out of the tentacle range there, but taking a lot of damage. And so going to have to back off. Good move, Derek, not trying to just sit there and fight that. That is a smart play, one that isn't going to be taken lightly. And OBU just going to try to chase Derek down. And Derek, this is where you got out of that fight early on. Derek going to be able to get his abilities back up. There's a big Q coming in from Derek. Derek going to get the first blood. That is 300 gold going over to Derek. And 1 feat augment for SNU. A good start to this game. And here comes Mason. Mason going to go in for the counter gank here. Derek going to sneak up and try to steal this kill. But he does give it to Mason. There's a big flash from both junglers. Mason able to finish that kill, putting SNU up 2 kills to 0. A great start to this top side for both SNU and Derek specifically. Again, a lot of pressure coming in from the Alawi. Derek kind of sitting there reading the pressure well, knowing that he wasn't going to win that second fight. So he just kind of pulled back a little bit, tried to get his abilities back up, but Alawi not going to let him try to do that. Chased him down a little bit, maybe chased a little bit too far, and unfortunately, Derek capitalized on that. Fortunately for SNU, unfortunately for OBU. Derek capitalized on that. And there's the cage from Vigar, a great cage to block that LeBlanc dash. Now, LeBlanc's going to be able to dash in and really just try to burst you down as quick as possible. Vigar, not a very tanky mid laner, really on the squishier end. So that burst is going to be pretty heavy as soon as you see LeBlanc go back and get her first buy. When it comes down to the items, it'll be interesting to see what she goes for. If she's going to try to play a little bit more passive, knowing her team's down 2 kills to 0, or if she's going to try to go more of the assassination route. And Derek able to just completely take over this top lane. I'm not sure if Derek's backed yet. Yeah, he has backed. He TP back top lane. So Derek gonna go back and get that first item. I'm not sure exactly what he got, but I'm going to assume maybe a long sword or a shield. Derek, wow, getting enough gold to buy a blasting wand, so gonna just have a lot of damage come into this top. Derek not gonna look more towards that tank route immediately, is gonna try to get as much damage as he can. Alawi having to buy that ruby crystal to give her an extra 250 HP is going to be big. And Derek, this is why he went back and bought that blasting wand, is able to now just take absolute control of the top side and gonna just run Alawi down. Alawi trying to ult and get out of that, doing some damage and getting some lifesteal back, but Derek is right now just too big for Alawi to handle, and that blasting wand is giving him too much AP in order for her to survive that. Derek missing the Kenyon. When we review this VOD, I will have to kind of call him out on that. You don't miss a Kenyon minion. That's 75 gold. But when we go back towards this bottom side, I am very impressed on just kind of how Thomas has been able to do against this LeBlanc. I'm a mid lane main, so I know this matchup all too well. LeBlanc, a very good mid lane champion in the meta right now, so not shocked that OBU is going to lean towards that pick. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. Here comes LeBlanc's full combo onto Thomas, and that's what I'm saying. It's a very hard matchup for Thomas. He just kind of has to sit back. Unfortunately, it's not in the SNU memoir to say, hey, I'm going to sit back and just let everyone else do their thing. Every member on SNU loves getting kills, loves pushing their champions to limit test them. And so we will see if Thomas is able to sit back, farm his Q up, get those passive stacks in order to get stronger for the mid game when his team is really going to need him in order to just throw that cage out and get all that CC down. But a good pressure in from the bottom lane from SNU. And here they go again, just kind of shoving Vayne off of a wave. Maybe going to be able to get her off these two minions here. Unfortunately, not all of the minions triggered onto all of them, but Vayne going to miss some CS right there. And that's exactly what you want to see. Thomas going to get ignited. I think he survives that with 5 HP. Let's see. Go back to mid. Oh, Derek's just running Alawi down. We don't need to go back to Thomas. And Thomas gonna survive with less than 50 HP, I'll say. But Derek gonna try to get Alawi down, and now a huge gank coming in from bottom lane. But Caden gonna try to 1v2 here. He knows he's in a bad position, not able to get out, and that was a big gank there from OBU, catching SNU just trying to shove the wave into OBU's tower, and a good rotation from Royal Bubbles on Ornn in OBU's jungle to catch them out there and punish Caden from pushing this lane so hard. Cam doing a really good job though, just kind of keeping Vayne off, making sure that she's not going to be able to get this plate. If OBU gets this plate though, that's big for Vayne. It does not look like she's able to though, and so that's 250 gold saved from going over to OBU's side on both their support and ADC. Caden kind of has the ability right now. He's not going to take it. Had the ability and maybe the chance. Didn't know where OBU's jungler was to just kind of run at Vayne there. Again, a very mobile bot lane from SNU. Lulu having a movement speed buff. Misfortune's passive going to be more movement speed heavy. And so had the ability there to maybe chase that down, but chose the safer end of that. A very good move there from Caden, not something that we see very often, but I do think Caden being one death down and not having a kill is going to just try to play more passive a little bit, knowing that Derek is really just kind of getting super fed top lane. And here we go again. Derek going to get ulted by Alawi, but it is just doing no damage. Mason should go in and maybe get an assist here, but Mason's just going to turn around, not going to get the assist. Is just kind of hovering for Ornn, giving all of the gold over to Mordekaiser on Derek. And so Derek now, that is his third kill of the game. I do think that is feats for SNU. They got the first 3 kills of the game, so they are 1 tick away from feats. Already having 1 objective, 2 getting dragon early on. We missed that, but SNU already getting that first dragon. So a very good early start over on SNU's side. Here comes Vigar, already throwing his cage down, so SNU not having enough CC, and that might be the problem later on in this game when it comes down to team fights. Caden kind of getting caught out again here, a little bit too far. Cam nowhere to help him, but getting there at the very end, and Caden able to snipe Vayne and gonna get a trade both ways. And so 1-to-1 trade on the bottom side, both supports up. Mason's gonna try to see if he can sneak in and kill Melio, but she is too healthy and he sees too many wards. And so Mason going to go in and clear those wards, but he has to be careful. Ornn is on that bottom side jungle, so needs to just be very careful with how he approaches what he does next. We're going to see voids up in 4 minutes, so that is probably where Mason is going to back and probably reset and head over to that top side. Macy and Alawi here. Now Derek going to go in alt immediately on Alawi. Now Derek kind of has to realize too, yeah, he may be getting 6 or 7 kills, but at some point, there it is, 200 gold. So Alawi getting to that point where if Derek keeps using more and more abilities and flashes on her, it's not going to be worth it because he's missing minions and she's going to be less than a minion. On the other side of the map, SNU Mason, kind of, like I said, getting it caught out in their jungle, wasn't in a great position from clearing those wards, and Ornn was just kind of hovering, waiting for Mason to step just in the wrong spot, and both their mid lane and bottom side collapsed onto Mason. So OBU picking up 3 kills, 2 on the bottom side of the map. I want to say both going on to Vayne. Can we see that, Josh? Can we see the stats? Sorry. Yes. Yep. Both going on to Vayne. 1 going on to Ornn, allowing now 0-5 in the top side. So again, not really going to be worth it for really Mordekaiser to start using a ton of abilities on her. I know Derek's probably loving that he's 5-0 though. A very beefy Mordekaiser coming into the middle side of this game is going to be huge for SNU, but SNU needs to be very careful. They don't have the CC on this comp to be kind of just out of position. OBU just has the burst of damage to just absolutely snipe somebody when they step out of line. And so that's what we're going to have to start seeing later on. Kaden not too far behind Vayne, is 30 CS up on her, and only down 1 kill. So I'm assuming the gold is probably around the same. Vayne gonna, yeah, gold is going to be, just kidding. Kaden is up 2k gold. So Kaden has barely missed a minion, either killing it or in range of it. And Kaden not able to get that kill. And is going to ult and try to snipe it, and does. And there is the top side. We're going to see Derek just running Alawi down. Alawi not having fun at all on this game. And so SNU kind of just going to need to play around Derek as they head towards the mid game. OBU now, all members of OBU going to lean towards this bottom side. I would love to see Thomas push in that mid wave, maybe get a plate while LeBlanc isn't there, but Thomas is going to rotate down. Dragon is up, and SNU can look for their second dragon here. Alawi doesn't have TP, Mordekaiser does, so that's a huge advantage for SNU, especially knowing Mordekaiser has 6 kills on his bag, and so he will just need to back here and get a big item. SNU gonna get the first tower, maybe. Would be huge if Derek can just kind of push this out, get the first tower back, and TP into the dragon fight. That would be a massive up for SNU. Derek not going to do that, instead going to take this fight with Alawi. And if I'm OBU here, I'm now immediately turning my attention towards dragon. But the small hesitation here from OBU is giving SNU the advantage to push out bot wave, push out mid wave. As you see, Kaden going to be able to chunk down LeBlanc. LeBlanc now having to back, isn't healthy enough to fight anything. Her back going to get stopped though by Lulu. And so here we go. Was going to maybe see an SNU fight here, but instead SNU going to pull back. Derek just putting so much pressure on this top side of the map for SNU. Gonna get a tier 2 tower off of the hesitation from OBU. Instead of doing dragon, they looked towards mid. SNU not letting up any pressure on the mid lane or bottom lane, forcing OBU to either make a play on them or on dragon. OBU chose to do neither, and so Derek gonna get tier 1 and tier 2 tower top lane. And if you look at the top of your screen, I mean, we're almost at a 10k gold differential coming in for SNU. So a huge start to this first game for SNU. And that's when you see a champion like Vayne, you know, you're looking towards the later game if you're picking Vayne. And unfortunately, I don't think OBU is going to get there. And like I said, when we were doing champion pick ban, when you're picking a LeBlanc or when you're picking a Vayne, yeah, you have the ability to hyper carry, but you have to make it to that point in the game. And if you're unable to make it, then those champions kind of just get null and void. SNU looking to try to pick off a member of OBU Here comes Derek. Derek gonna just run Alawi down again. I do think that's going to be a free kill on Alawi, but I think she's gonna be worth 180 gold. So barely worth more than a minion at this point. I would love to see Derek maybe switching lanes here, going bottom. He's so strong that I don't think any member of OBU will be able to step up and try to take him one-on-one. And so put that pressure on the map somewhere else that has a tier 1, tier 2, a big Vigar ult coming on to the LeBlanc and just absolutely executing her. And that's a huge kill for Thomas as he's trying to get into that phase where he can start carrying this game a little bit. Here comes Ornn to the top side to stop Derek from pushing into their base. But like I said, Derek already has control of the whole top side of the map. Would love to see him maybe rotate to a different lane here. Derek going to clear all of the top side wards from OBU. So now OBU doesn't have any vision going into really a mid defense here, and SNU should be able to take this mid tower pretty easily. We will see if not more than two members of SNU decide to take this mid tower. So it's stuff like that. There's minor plays that SNU can really just do better. Kaden gonna look to just absolutely blast Milio. Kaden having that 3k gold advantage on really any member of OBU just because of how good he's been farming in this game. And here comes Vayne. Vayne ulting in. Vayne gonna just try to run down Lulu. Gonna miss shot and hit Kaden instead. But it may be a good miss shot though. Vayne not able to go invis quick enough. And LeBlanc trying to run in, execute Vayne. But wow, Kaden playing that almost to perfection. Standing on top of the Vigar cage. So if when LeBlanc did try to jump in and execute him, she immediately getting stunned. Mason during that whole fight taking the Void, or taking Rift, I think that was. Yeah, taking Rift Herald. And so just a good macro play from him, seeing that his team is doing fine, winning that mid fight. He's going to go do his thing in the jungle, get the big jungle objective. SNU, I don't see really any way that they lose this first game. And so SNU going to try to just need to group up and clean up this game a little bit. I think more misplays coming in kind of puts OBU in more of a situation to where they can win this game. But right now, the way we're looking at it, just SNU, just a completely dominant fashion. And that is one thing that, like, when you are, and I've talked to them before, but when you are the #1 seed, I think the expectation is perfection. And obviously, perfection is very hard. So when you look at games like this, you can get kind of arrogant and cocky that you are just dominating, and you start to mess up a little bit. You start to have misplays. If you watched the league game last week, we got in that funk where we kind of got in our heads and where that we were just the better team, and we dropped game 2 because of just small misplays. And so SNU needing to end this game and just get on to the next one. They've done well, they've done good, but right now kind of chasing down kills. We're not really wanting to see that, just kind of trying to finish the game off here. But a very, very good performance all across the board team-wise from SNU, but a very solid performance coming in top lane from Derek, who just started the game off almost to his perfection. Mason going in, helping him to get his second kill, and then at that point he's 2-0 up against an Alawi. He is able to go back, buy a blasting wand, and just kind of run her down in the lane. So a great performance from Derek. SNU maybe going to reset here, push the minions in, all of them back out. They decide not to back out, and OBU going to look to punish that. SNU not very healthy here, but neither is OBU. There's a big ult here from LeBlanc, going to go in, get immediately knocked up and stunned, and OBU not able to get the execution kills that they need. And so SNU now up 4 people to 2. Yeah, 4 people to 2. Is now deciding to back out and go to Drake. Would love for them to have just ended the game right there. They had the ability to end the game. Maybe Mason not healthy enough to end the game, but gonna decide to play it a little bit more safe. Just back out. They're gonna go get their 3rd Drake. Gonna go back, buy items, and this next fight they should be able to just walk it into OBU's base and end the game pretty cleanly coming in. But man, that's a huge almost 22k gold lead as soon as they get Dragon, and that will be a massive deficit for OBU, one that I don't think even a Vayne late game can overcome. But a good performance from OBU's bottom lane going into a very hard matchup like we talked about early on. Caden putting just massive pressure onto OBU's bottom lane, but OBU responding in a good way, catching Caden out as he's pushed up a little bit. And here we go. LeBlanc maybe going to try to just come a little surprise attack maybe, but no, she decides differently. SNU maybe catching her with some vision there. And SNU now 3 members going to look towards ending this game. Would love to see all 5 members maybe look towards ending this game. There's a kill going over to Caden right there. A big ult, and they can just kill this Nexus and win this game. But SNU still looking for more kills. There's a death on to Caden. Derek gonna just jump into their Nexus and maybe pull Vayne out. But oh, almost. Tom is almost getting the one shot. There's the final kill of the game. SNU very cleanly winning game 1 and looking very good as we go into the rest of the series. We will be back when it comes to game 2, picks and bans. We'll come back and we'll see you then.
Often. I don't wanna get a call the last time I felt it. Maybe you could help me. Usually I'm cautious. Dip my toe in, but I don't jump into the water. Do we do this often? I don't wanna get a call the last time I felt it. Maybe you could help me. Usually I'm cautious. Dip my toe in, but I don't jump into the water. Do we do this often?
and a very dominant performance from that game one. SNU kind of led really through the top lane. Derek having a huge performance, going 11-1 as I look over at the scoreboard. The team getting 25 kills, but I kind of want to highlight one specific point in that game. Cam coming out of that game with 12 assists out of the 25. Very huge for a support to just kind of almost have that 50% participation in the kills. And so good job from Cam there, finding ways to just maneuver around the map, even if it was without Kaden, in order to get those assists. But while we wait on game 2 picks and bans, got some things to talk about. Got some big things coming up for SNU Esports, but let's take an overall look at the rest of this week. We have, again, Halo tonight following SNU League of Legends. It should be right after. Drew will come in, replace me, and then we will have Halo for the rest of the night. Coming in at 8:45 will be their first game. Then we have nothing tomorrow, and then another doubleheader coming at you on Friday, where we have 2 Smash games and a Rocket League game. Rocket League #1 seed in the NECC right now, looking to retain that as well. And so got some pretty big hitters this week. Again, as we look towards kind of narrowing down where we're going to be for playoffs. SNU Halo #3 in the nation, SNU League #1 in the GAC, SNU Rocket League #1 in the NECC. So some big time plays coming from big time players over on SNU side of the esports. But one huge thing coming up for SNU Esports is November 14th. Put it on your calendar, write it down right now. November 14th is our big stream. So if you've ever been wondering to know how to support SNU Esports, what you can do to maybe get some gear, help donate to our cause, November 14th through the 21st, we are going to have all of the SNU Esports members, some alumni members coming in, me, Drew, and Josh coming in. And we are doing what we call a prestige race on Call of Duty. So Call of Duty will drop November 14th, and SNU Esports has put their name in to race some of the bigger esports organizations. You've got Optic Gaming, you've got 100 Thieves, you got some big time streamers. Tim the Tatman is thinking about doing it. So some big time people, and SNU Esports is going to be in the mix right there. It is, let me break it down what a prestige race is. In every Call of Duty, there are 10 to 12 prestiges. So every prestige, we're going to have champion select, picks and bans going on in the background, but let me finish this. Every prestige takes around 50 levels, so it's going to take you about maybe less than a day to get to max level of that prestige, and then you reset back to 0 and you start again. So you do that 12 times. First one to the max prestige wins the race. So SNU going to try to do that. It's going to be a 24/7 stream. So somebody will be streaming nonstop all the time. We'll have our regularly scheduled games going on in the background. You'll be able to see some of our players practicing in the background, but somebody will be streaming on Call of Duty 24/7. With that, there are some donation challenges going on. And so if we hit certain goals, some things are going to happen. I will say, Drew somehow convinced me if we hit a certain money amount to dye my beard whatever color the chat picks. Could be green, could be pink, could be crimson. Not sure yet. Hopefully, we'll see if we hit that goal. But we do have some very funny and fun goals that we could hit when we donate. So that is a huge way to support us. During that whole week, we will have a temporary store go up to where you can buy SNU Esports merch, hoodies, long sleeve shirts, short sleeve shorts, pants, hats, water bottles. So some cool things coming at you here in the coming weeks. November 14th is the start of that. So make sure you're tuning in. Feel free if you want to just hang out with probably whoever's on the night shift that night. If you're awake at 2 a.m., tune in, go in, say hi. They would love some chat support, but we love the support from our fans this year, especially with the year that we're having. So we would love to see you guys in the chat, speaking to us, talking to us. We would love your support and donations. But just want to say thank you for everybody that has either tuned into a stream, sub to our Twitch, who has just talked to us on campus, just kind of supporting us and helping us grow as we gear up for playoffs. And all of the money that we raise will be going towards either traveling or some of our funds that we are looking for our esports program. I do know Halo has a very, very big potential to travel coming up, and so that will be huge for them. I know they'll be really on the grind here in the coming weeks to try to get their position into college Halo High and going into that tournament. So tonight is a big one for them, coming off of a loss to, I want to say, Full Sail they played last week. But here we go, back into Champion Select for Game 2 for League of Legends. Akali, #1 pick for their mid laner. He has a 63% win rate on Akali, so that's really good. But Akali, a very kind of along the same lines as LeBlanc, very assassin mid laner, has the ability to just kind of delete somebody off the map. But when you're able to shut that down, really just a champion that is going to put herself out of position a lot. So SNU going to have to capitalize on that. OBU going to finish up with interesting. Josh, I do see that. I don't think that is intentional. It does show no bans from SNU, but I do think that they did ban 5 champions. So I don't know why it's not showing that. But OBU going to finish out their team comp. Lulu Vayne taking the Lulu away from Cam. And then Fiddlesticks, a great jungle pick for OBU. Not one that SNU has seen very often. So gonna be interesting to see what he can do with that. Again, Fiddle's ult can really catch you off guard when it comes over a wall and you get feared into it. That's a lot of damage flying at you. But Gnosis gonna have to be their primary tank. And really, that's a lot of weight to put on Gnosis. There's a lot of squishy members on his team. Vayne coming back into that comp. So it's going to be interesting to see. Again, one of those things that Vayne doesn't have a ton of damage early on. So Mel and Smolder on the bottom side. Oh, no, just kidding. Smolder and Blitzcrank on the bottom side for SNU is going to have to just really, I mean, Blitzcrank has the ability to just catch Vayne out. Vayne not having a ton of disengage. Lulu, luckily, a good support to pick into this, does have the disengage for Vayne. But if Cam is able to land hooks, and this is a champion I want to see Cam play more, has the ability to really make an impact on this lane and really the overall game, especially into a comp like OBU's, where you have a squishy Vayne, you have a squishy Akali. Really, you can pull Fiddlesticks alting out of the map and just really take him off the team. And so SNU going to do what they can. Would love to see some big plays here from Cam going into this game. And so I think we're heading into a 2-minute spectator delay, but let's keep taking a look at the team comp while I have it. So when you have a Mel, that's going to be a new champion picked for SNU. Not one that Thomas we've seen a ton play, but Mel very, very strong in the meta right now. Currently, if you're not super knowledgeable about esports, League of Legends Worlds is happening right now. So all the top teams are at a tournament right now, not college, overall pros, in one of the biggest esports venues that has happened. League always going to be able to bring the numbers. It's over in Korea this year, I think. Mel being one of the top picked champions coming out of Worlds right now. So Thomas probably has spent hours and hours watching Worlds. I have as well. Unfortunately, it does start at 3 a.m. So your sleep schedule gets whacked. But Mel, there's a lot of learning opportunities when you're watching pros play a champion like Mel. One aspect of Mel is she has a reflect button. So any damage that Akali is going to be able to send out, any skill shots or anything, Mel's going to be able to put that up and send it back at her. And so when you see maybe a Lulu, especially maybe a Gnosis, Mel's going to be able to redirect some of that damage back at them. Volibear, we've seen Mason play a lot of Volibear. Really good champion on Mason. Mason, a really good champion. Has the ability to just kind of disengage a turret early on, and that's what I'm going to expect. As soon as Volibear hits 6, watch him look maybe towards this top side again. But really, maybe the bottom side with the Blitzcrank coming in for SNU, they have the ability to just take control of that lane. And so Volibear are going to be able to jump in, disengage that tower, and then Cam and Caden going to just kind of go in and pull OBU out of position. So Garen, a normal top lane that we see for Derek, very used to seeing it. has the ability, again, to take kind of control of his waves, kind of shift OBU into a lot more pressure. So we'll see how that will work out, especially Derek coming off of that massive performance of that last game. And we're 45 seconds into a spectator delay. We're so close to starting the game. So I'm going to take a sip of water with the SNU Esports water bottle that you can buy November 14th. We can engrave that with whatever you want. So if you want your name on your water bottle and a cool little SNU logo, you let us know and we'll put that on there. But almost into this game, I asked the guys if we banned. Didn't get a response. Granted, they are in the game, so I'm not really entirely sure of that. And so kind of just maybe if we didn't, leaving OBU left to take whatever champions they want. This, I will say, picking Blitzcrank opens the gap for you to invade. So I would love to see SNU, not something that they usually do. They did a lot last year, but I would love to see SNU level 1 invade. Expect OBU to be probably watching for that, as Blitzcrank is always picked. The other team probably knows that the team is going to invade into their jungle, but SNU's level 1 very, very strong. So maybe just kind of watch to see what that looks like. I would love to see maybe a topside invade with his Fiddlesticks. Fiddlesticks not having red. If he doesn't have blue, that, I mean, that's devastating for Fiddlesticks, but Fiddlesticks not having red, he won't have that topside pressure that he's usually used to probably. And so that kind of leaves Derek up to just kind of run down an early game Gnosis. And there we see all of the runes that the teams have picked. Garen going to go back into that Conqueror sorcery aspect of that. I love kind of the fleet work. Wow, I can't even say it. I love the fleet foots that Smolder picked, giving it more of that ability to just kind of escape any kind of Lulu rundown. Lulu having that slow with the Q. We saw that last game coming in from Cam, but going into a flash barrier too. So we have a barrier ignite on the SNU side and a barrier heal coming over from the OBU side. So again, OBU going to play a little bit more passive, kind of healthy, and SNU bot side always going to try to play that more aggressive style. Cam's PC, I'm getting word Cam's PC broke, so they're waiting for him to reload back into that game. So that's why we were sitting in this loading screen right now. One thing from SNU that you can notice is Garen not going to have that TP coming in for SNU. Instead, Thomas is going to take it in the mid lane. And so it's going to be interesting. Unable to download spectator data. The game will now exit. We will see if we can get into their game. It may, Josh, if you need help, let me know. But it may be a little bit delayed now that Cam's PC crashed. And so we may have to restart the lobby. May have to restart the lobby in order to get back into spectator. Josh, you may be able to right click their name in your friends list and click spectate in that. Josh is letting me know that it's reconnecting. So perfect. So again, gonna maybe be a little bit more aggressive on the early game here for SNU. You have the Akali on the mid lane for OBU, but not someone that's going to be able to do anything level 1. So fully expect SNU to be invading here when we rejoin into the game, and excited to see what goes on there. Again, reminder, 8:45 right after this match, Halo will be taking on, I don't know what team they're playing. It looks like the Tigers. Could be LSU, but I don't think that's LSU. That's not LSU's Tiger. Maybe a Clemson. It's a Clemson color. Josh, do we know who Halo's playing? Waiting to see if Josh is able to. Oh, you're right. Halo gonna be playing Rice. The Ivy League Rice. So it's gonna be Brain versus Brawn coming in. I have Brain versus Brain. SNU is a very Ivy League-ish school. But that one will be a really fun matchup to watch for SNU. SNU looking to bounce back after their loss to Full Sail last week. And so another good reminder to shout out to all of our sponsors this year who have helped us get to where we are. Re-Roof America, one of our long-term sponsors, really kind of started us off last year. By Blue Light coming in with the eyewear protection. You'll see them and some of our players wearing those this year. Very good work that they're doing in the really legal battle against kind of Blue Light and trying to get that into just the corporate world and more of the esports world. 34 Project Hudson doing a great work. They just moved locations. He's been doing a phenomenal job out there. ESK, our jersey sponsors. Stay tuned on our social media. Big jersey announcement coming this week. It is time for media day. So watch for some behind the scenes footage of that. Primal Nerds, our most recent sponsor, or any of your board game and card game needs. If you go in and say you are a member of the SNU esports family, you can go in and get a discount there. And so now we are in the lobby. We're in the game, loading in the game, waiting for this pause to end as SNU has unpaused the game. And here we go. This is the pause. That's why everyone's frozen. Well, I can tell you what's about to happen. All of the SNU is about to invade this bottom side jungle. You see the pings on the bottom of the map. They're all together. They are headed over to the bottom jungle now. Unfortunately for OBU, OBU is splitting up, going into where their lanes are going to be. Tell your coach I said hi. Hello. Oh, that was us saying that. But there's a very, very good pink ward coming in from OBU to stop this invade. And so SNU not going to maybe be able to do what they had originally planned on doing. Cam is just... Wait. I just realized... Just realized that Caden is on Blitzcrank and Cam is on Smolder, the ADC. So Caden and Cam switching roles for this game. And man, I was really confused when I saw Blitzcrank's name. But Caden going to be probably more knowledgeable on this Blitzcrank and having the position for, if you're Blitzcrank and you have the position in the lane and the ability to just maneuver your way around the minions, you can take advantage of just anybody that is out of position. So here we go. Game now getting underway. SNU not able to get that first blood that they were looking for with the Blitzcrank, but Mason going to take Fiddlesticks red. We will see where he passed to outside of this, and this is the pressure that a Blitzcrank adds. I mean, if you just look at him stepping up, there's a pull into Gnosis. So Gnosis going to go into the bottom lane as a support. Both teams switching up quite a bit here. Instead of having the ADC Vayne, knowing that she has no mobility coming in, she is going to go to the top side against Garen. Vayne, a very, very good counter to Garen. So Garen and Gnosis just switching sides, and there's the pull from Blitzcrank. Bubba able to do as much damage as he can to them. And that is a good start if you are SNU, and that's exactly what you're going to see this entire game. A good early pressure too here from Mel and Thomas, doing a good job setting the tone. But this is the unfortunate downfall of having Garen into Vayne. Is Vayne, the range champion, is able to just bully Garen out of a wave. And I want to say, if you, Josh, if we go in to see what the minions are, I bet you Derek not having a ton of minions going into this. Let's see those stats, Josh. Wow, yeah, so the stat scoreboard is going to be a little bit different. Vayne is on that top side. She has 19 CS to Garen's 12, and that is the unfortunate part of being counterpicked that heavily. Vayne, just probably one of the best counters in the game in this matchup, and so just not something that is going to be fun for Derek to play. He's just going to have to play a lot more passive than he played the first game. But Mel gonna get in, get that stun in early, and Mel is a champion that just does so much damage in any game. OBU going to look to gank there, but Lulu gonna have to start roaming. So this is kind of where we see OBU maybe just identity crisis a little bit. Lulu doesn't want to stay in the bot lane because Nasus needs the stacks. Nasus needs all the experience in order for him to be their only tank. And so it's kind of forcing Lulu out of the bot lane, but Lulu not sure where to go. So Lulu helping the OBU jungler, kind of maybe roaming top a little bit. SNU trying to look to punish her. And there you see it. Lulu level 2 compared to SNU's level 4 across the board. Good pull there by Kaden. And SNU now going to have to try to get on the retreat there, as there's 3 members of OBU on the top side. And this is just going to be, honestly, what's really unfortunate for OBU is this is kind of just a free lane here for Smolder. And that's a champion that the more stacks the Smolder is going to get, the bigger and beefier this champion gets. And so stacks are, for Smolder, are anytime one of Smolder's abilities hits an OBU person, they get a stack. Anytime Smolder's ability kills a minion, they get a stack. Around 200 and I want to say 50 stacks. You'll have to click the champion Josh to see the stacks. Around 250 stacks, Smolder gets an execute. So you see the bars on their health. When there's 2 bars left on their health, immediately executed, they immediately die. Wait, yeah, you had it, Josh. Okay, so Smolder's at 24 stacks. So if you look at the bottom left of your screen, that 24 number is Smolder's passive. That's how many stacks Smolder has. Now, when I say 250, you start to think, wow, that is a lot that they have to get. But it does go pretty quickly once team fights start. Smolder starts getting quite a bit of stacks. And so the more ability that Smolder has to farm in this early game is going to be better for SNU. And so kind of Smolder getting that free lane, if you look on the map, all to herself in that top side, SNU kind of rotating over to the top. But one thing I don't unfortunately like about that is now that they had 2 members committed to that top side, that leaves OBU able to get this dragon. But OBU not making any play on the dragon right now, which is probably a really good thing for SNU. As you see, 2 members of SNU topside, now 2 members of OBU headed up to top as well to match that. Lulu's still in the identity crisis. This is so bad for OBU. Lulu still at level 2. So Lulu probably sitting around 350 HP right now against a lot of level 6s here coming from SNU. Volibear, if you're in the jungle, is going to just chase down this Lulu. And, I mean, Lulu's going to have to find a way to just go into a lane and unfortunately start soaking XP because they can't be level 2. As soon as SNU goes back and buys an item on these members that are level 6, I mean, one ult is just going to absolutely kill Lulu. And so Lulu still, this is one of those macro plays when you start over thinking about the overall picture of how you win this game. Lulu is going to have to figure out what she's going to do, and see right there, SNU sees Lulu level 2 and is like, wow, that's a free kill if we can get to it. And so Caden's going to try to snipe her here with his pull, but runs into 2 members of OBU. Caden pulls blue buff. Blue buff is going to reset, however, and going to go back into OBU's hands. But again, that's free farm here for Smolder. Smolder not having any person to step up and counter them. And Derek trying his best to just not get annoyed by having a Vayne in his lane. And here comes Lulu in that top side. But, I mean, even if Smolder sees Lulu, that's just unfortunately not a threat. And Caden going to run down, going to get a Vayne caught out a little bit. There's the E, there's the Q coming in from Caden. And Garen just going to spin and ult onto Vayne, getting the first blood going over to SNU. A good read by Caden, knowing Vayne is caught out of position, pushed up because she is winning that lane. And Blitzcrank so scary into that gank that he's able to just run into lane and put all of that pressure onto their ADC. And so now here's the top side. Cam kind of out of position a little bit, doesn't have the mana. Cam maybe using his barrier a little bit early, but again, not one that plays ADC a ton. And so going to throw in the barrier there of that and just mid lane. This is one matchup. I mean, we've talked a lot about top and bottom. But when you think about last game, Thomas having a very good game on Vigar, really not someone that is going to just sit there and maybe farm kills that early. And here's the level 3 Lulu just getting absolutely deleted. And so that's what I'm talking about. Lulu just needing to find kind of her identity in this game. Isn't going to find it, unfortunately. OBU not going to help the Lulu out. They decided to just grab the Void Grubs, take it away from SNU. And SNU going to get one objective kill into OBU's now one objective kill. And maybe SNU collapsing here. Caden throwing a blind Q over the wall, not getting any member of OBU. Thomas going to hit the plant and see Akali and Fiddlesticks over in the jungle. And so SNU now going to take a quick back here. If we can get a stat check here, Josh, that's 76 CS onto the Smolder against Vayne's, technically Vayne's 75. And so a good job by Cam there, staying up to date on his CS when you look at Vayne. But when you compare the two top sides, 63 CS from Garen to 36 on Gnosis. So Derek doing a good job, even in this counter lane, doubling the CS of OBU's top side jungle. And here comes Caden. Caden again sees Lulu out of position, and Lulu worth so much gold still. And Caden unfortunately getting slowed by Lulu and missing the Q, but they're not giving up on this. Caden still has his E. Derek not able to catch up. Again, there's a massive, massive ability coming in from Lulu, just slowing both members of SNU down, so they are not able to get the pull. And now kind of OBU looking to turn this, but this is a mistake from OBU. Lulu not healthy enough and not level 6 to save Vayne. If Lulu's level 6 there, that's bad news for SNU. But SNU smart enough to know that even if they bait that out a little bit, they are going to be able to get that kill. Kill going over to Cam, so there's a couple stacks going on to him. A good gank there from Mason. And now if you're SNU, you've got to really push this objective. That's two members of OBU down. I would love to see them get some tower plates here. And it looks like Derek's going to do that. Derek's going to kind of just blindly ignore this. I hope he's going to blindly ignore the Lulu. We'll see if he does. Good pull there by Caden, going in for another kill, but Akali ulting out of danger. Ult flash down for Akali. A good move and a good collapse there from SNU. Derek still hasn't got this plate though. And so this is kind of the macro micro play that SNU really needs to focus on. They are winning across the map. Yes, they're getting kills, but really not getting anything off the kills. So when you look down kind of off of it, a good job by Cam there. He got the tower plate. But when you look in the overall picture of what this game looks like, your objective is, yes, to get kills, but you win the game by getting towers. You win the game by getting objectives. And so Cam kind of baiting Gnosis out a little bit. Here comes Volibear. Gnosis immediately popping his ult. Going to get stunned up here by Volibear. A good damage amount coming in from both members of SNU. Cam getting his third kill of the game, and that's big on Smolder. Gets those stacks going pretty quickly. And Thomas doing a really good job on that mid lane, is up almost 30 CS in a very hard matchup for him too. So OBU having a really kind of okay champion select. Maybe shouldn't have switched the lanes a little bit, but Vayne very good into Garen, so I see why they did it. It just is leaving Lulu now into this weird spot. Lulu finally hitting level 6, matching the support for SNU as Caden is just kind of running around the map. But that's the difference between Lulu and Blitzcrank at this point. Is yes, they're the same level, but Caden has had a huge impact on this game, getting 3 assists and Cam getting 3 kills. So SNU up 5 kills to 0, up almost 6k gold 12 minutes into this game. I mean, that's massive. You already see a complete item coming in for Cam. A good pull here from Caden, but unfortunately not able to finish this kill off. And that's the danger of Akali. You see the burst damage coming out of Akali. Caden getting really, really greedy and trying to push that kill. And Caden going to go down early. Sorry, I had to take a water break. A random ult coming in from Cam. I don't know if he accidentally misclicked that or if Cam decided that he wanted to just farm with his ult. But Cam going to just have the ability to maybe take this tower on the top side as SNU now looks towards Dragon and is going to be able to take Dragon pretty easily. OBU not able to really kind of get in position there to stop that. Maybe could have looked for a steal. You have Fiddlesticks who can get over the wall decently well, but not going to look for that. And now SNU turning their attention towards punishing this bottom lane and top side. Good pull there by Caden, top side down. SNU going to be able to get the top tower, and there's a good stun by Mason, but SNU now in a very bad position. OBU not going to want to challenge this, but maybe going to challenge it later. Can't tell. So, and unfortunately, that's the problem with OBU, is the decision making isn't as quick as it needs to be. It's got to be a snap decision making. And when you hesitate, like something like that, where you have Lulu and Vayne kind of take 2 steps back, that's enough for SNU to get out. If OBU maybe commits to that, maybe that does go 2 kills into OBU. You've got to look for some sort of just kind of big play if you're OBU. And that was kind of their moment. You have a Fiddlesticks that can get in and fear a member on SNU, but they decide to kind of hesitate a little bit, and SNU is able to just kind of sneak out of that fight. But on the top side, while all that was going on, Caden and Cam getting Cam his 4th kill of the game and taking down the tower. And now Caden just kind of being able to use Blitzcrank's pressure around the map, getting another kill on Lulu. And unfortunately, Lulu not really just having, again, I keep harping on it, but not having the enough health or the enough gold to just kind of survive anything right now. So if she does get Blitzcrank hook, it's over. And Caden just kind of hovering bot side, getting a really good flash E. And unfortunately, SNU maybe not able to get that kill. Vayne doing a really good job to play that out. And Cam doing a good job here, baiting the Gnosis into fully committing into a fight at the top side. And here comes Mason to help Cam out. Cam gonna get down and get that kill. This is his 5th kill of the game. Caden gonna need to get out of this. There's a flash coming in from Lulu, but not able to do any damage. Unfortunately, her first buy is a Shirelli's, so she only bought movement speed in that first item. And SNU, Mason now baiting out OBU's ult from the Fiddlesticks. There's 2 big kills. Wow, kill down bottom lane. Caden getting another beautiful Q. There is the Mel ult onto Fiddlesticks. Mel gonna get 1 kill into this game. So now SNU up 11-1, up 8.3k gold. A massive, massive lead coming in for SNU. And if Cam is able to get this tier 2, which he unfortunately probably won't be, as Gnosis is headed his way back top lane, but SNU now looking towards Void. Actually, I think this is Rift Herald. Yes, it is Rift Herald. So SNU gonna be able to get Rift Herald. If they are able to place this well enough, they may be able to take out a tier 2 and tower into OBU's base and look to end this game pretty quickly. We will see if they play this correctly. This is one of those things too where SNU maybe, instead of just trying to fight their own single battles, maybe needs to group mid lane, look to kind of just try to force OBU into a position they don't want to be in, especially when Lulu is so far down on HP. And here comes Caden. Caden going to get a good hook onto Lulu, and Garen following it up, just shredding with his E there. But 3 members of OBU are now collapsing onto SNU. I don't think this is going to be a killable range for OBU, as they're 2 very, very tanky members on SNU's side. But this, again, this is one of those moves. If you are on the SNU team, there's no reason for you to not be grouped up mid lane right now and just push the objective onto mid. Force OBU's hand into something that they don't want, and then look to take down that tier 2. Caden just punishing Vayne for being way too far pushed up with no vision, especially against the Blitzcrank. There's his E, there's the Q. Here comes Garen, E and alt, and there's another kill going over to this duo that has been so dominant on the map so far. But SNU gets a kill and currently isn't able to do anything off the kill. And so that's where, if SNU is more grouped up in this mid lane, or maybe even the bottom lane, getting something out of that big kill is where you need to be if you're SNU. And unfortunately, you have a member top. You now have 2 members top. You had 2 members bottom, and you had a member mid. So not something that you're going to be able to punish OBU really. So you can get as many kills as you want, but that gold lead not going to go up as much as you need it to go up when you look at the overall picture. And here comes Gnosis. Gnosis so tanky. It's going to take a lot for SNU to kill him, but SNU finally getting that kill. And here comes Smolder. Smolder getting as many stacks as Smolder can get. Josh, if you want to click on Smolder, let's see how many stacks Smolder has. Doing a lot of damage though from Smolder, and just kind of just running around. Akali out of position. A good blind Q from Caden, pulling Akali out of the shadow, and Derek gonna try to sneak in and get this Fiddlesticks out from stopping his back, and we'll see if Caden's able to do it. Caden alting, getting Fiddlesticks to his death, and now Mason's gonna chase down Vayne. And so good turn here from SNU as OBU trying to sneak a dragon right now. Is that true? No, okay. Just a little map glitch, it looked like. OBU or SNU now going to get their third dragon as Derek is running down Vayne. Good ult for Derek there, executing Vayne from almost 50 HP. And right now, SNU just needing to group mid and look to end this game. It's going to be a very quick game for SNU. Just a dominant performance. Love to see Bubba on ADC there, and kind of a good switch from Caden and Cam in order for Cam to just kind of get a little bit more experience, but Caden knowing really well how to play Blitzcrank and how to use Blitzcrank's Q to SNU's advantage. And we'll see if SNU is able to play this Rift right. They may be able to get 2 towers here. There's the first. We'll see if they can get it. Here comes Derek to get the damage on the second, but SNU losing all their minions instead. And OBU looking to punish SNU from going this far up. A good dodge there by Vayne, but now Vayne is so far by herself. Lulu's not going to be able to help her. There comes the Lulu ult, but unfortunately not enough damage coming out from Vayne to do anything. SNU gonna get the double kill, using the rift there to force OBU into a position that they, again, didn't need to be in. And that's what happens when you as a team, when you're so far ahead, if you just group, you make the other team have to make a play. And so Mason gonna run down Fiddlesticks here. SNU now can just end this game. All of OBU is dead besides Gnosis, who is sitting in the top lane, kind of just waving the white flag for him. Here he goes to back. Didn't know probably if SNU was going to try to end this game or not, but SNU finally saying yes. 21-minute game, 20-1 in SNU's favor. SNU maybe going to try to get one last team fight here. If Caden can land this Q on Vayne, then SNU will be able to win this fight, but SNU just going to probably back up here. Caden has the ability to do it, is choosing not to. Bubba going to get caught out by the Vayne E there, and now SNU members are all trying to use the portal to get out, but unfortunately only one person can use the portal at a time, and the whole team can't just sit there and wait for it. And so SNU kind of making a really bad play there, but Caden going to use the jungle jungle boost to get over the wall on Dragon, and SNU fully going to reset here. Josh, are you able to click Smolder's picture for me? Smolder has 167 sacks, so again, 20 minutes into this game. If this game were to continue, you probably see Smolder hit that at a 25-minute mark. And Smolder going to get some... I think Smolder will be a level 2 stacks at this point, which gives her abilities just a lot more power increase. And Derek, again, is just going to run this Lulu down. Lulu not really just having a place in this game. It hasn't known what to do this entire game. And here comes Vayne just to really just push Derek into a spot he didn't want to be in. And that has been the Vayne all game. Just a nuisance to Derek, giving Derek his first death of the game. And a good Q there by Caden. So now SNU, 3 members into their base, needs to just not fight this and just go in the game. We will see if they choose to do so. They choose to not do so. And so SNU now just going to get all of the towers on the map. A good Q there by Caden, pulling the Gnosis into the game. And SNU maybe going to look to team fight this. I'm not 100% sure if they're choosing what they're choosing to do. OBU's Nexus is wide open. They're going to get the in hit. Caden throwing a blind Q into OBU, not landing. And Mel choosing to back. But SNU could just go and end this game right now. Mel deciding to stay. SNU now looking to finish this series out with a very clean 2-0. Good stun there by Vayne, going onto the Smolder. And there goes SNU down 1. Mel going to get caught out. Now, Smolder unfortunately going to get caught out. And here is the indecisiveness that has granted SNU this game. Now going to be turned kind of on its heel towards SNU's side. And a good ult there by Volibear. Volibear going to chase down the Akali, and guaranteeing down Vayne with into his ult. And hopefully they don't dive that. I would say hopefully they don't dive that. SNU now can just look to finish and push with the minions. I can't tell what they're going to choose. They still haven't decided at this point, because SNU has been so indecisive. Both Nexus turrets are back up, and SNU can't just walk in and end this game anymore. So it's going to be a reset coming in for SNU. Now, again, a reminder, right after this game, we are going to turn it over to Halo. Josh, I don't know if Halo is already ready or already in a game, but if you want to, you can flip it over to Halo. I don't know if Drew is here yet to cast or not, but this game, I will say this game is over. SNU kind of just toying right now with OBU. Josh just did inform me that Halo is not, in fact, in a game yet. And SNU now going to group up as 5 and look to end this game. A good fear coming out from Fiddlesticks, making sure that Blitzcrank isn't able to just eat into their team. Flash Q coming in from Blitzcrank. Missing though, and SNU now going to get their 3rd inhibitor to spawn the double super minions on every lane. There's a waiting for Kaden to initiate this team fight, and here we go. SNU going to just really in a dominant fashion just clean up this team fight. Maybe not losing any members. Mason actually is going to go down. Kaden on the backside goes down to Akali, and SNU staying 3 members healthy is going to end this game and win this series 2-0 as they look to finish their season. Good start for SNU. League of Legends, a very dominant performance on the night. Stay tuned. We're going to go to a quick break, but we are going to switch it over to Halo in just a minute. Thank you for watching League of Legends. We hope to see you guys here next week, probably next Wednesday at the same time, 7:30, for I think a really good matchup. I think it is ECU next week, which is the number 2 seed in this division. So thank you. We appreciate all your support. Again, November 14th, please tune in. I will be here probably Friday night to cast some Rocket League with you guys, as well as some Smash with some of our Smash players as well. But stay tuned. Don't leave right here. Halo will be returning to your screen in just a second. Thank you for tuning in the chat as well. Love you guys. See you on Friday.
Yeah, I can see it. How this is going down. I can't believe it. You turn me inside out. Can see all these colors. You make me feel like something. When it's just me and you. When it's just me and you. When it's just me and you. Just the two of us. 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 Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, I can see it. When it's just me and you. When it's just me and you. When it's just me and you. When it's just me and you.
Simmer the beef and let it die down.
And it's time for your SNU Halo. Can I get a round of applause? Can I get a round of can I get some cheering? Some round of cheering and rounds of applauses? Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Be honest with
Woo. What? I got something on my face?
No, do I?
No, you look stellar.
Sweet. Because
Well,
I
good
definitely
thing.
just poked myself with a Sharpie while...
You were smelling the Sharpie.
Yeah.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how we do it at SNU. Drugs, no. But Sharpies,
Yes.
Expo markers. We have no camera. There's no need. Well, let's see if I can get this Twitch chat up here. If anyone's even watching, that is.
Surely.
Is it creator dashboard? Okay.
Just enter the Konami code.
I don't know what that is.
Well, I thought you were a gamer, so...
I'm not.
Up, down, left, right, B, A, start.
Put a beat to that. It's lucky fire.
It's like all the way back in the Atari days. I'm pretty sure I said that correctly as well.
Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. We have moderators now? Let's go, dude.
Me when I'm...
Redivivu Sumo 94.
Yeah. I don't know, yeah.
Don't know if Austin said anything about our, about what? What did you think I was going to say?
League?
No, I was going to say our what's it called, sponsors.
Oh, you did, yeah.
Gosh, our stream guy's trying to steal my thunder. He did. Shut up. Well, guys, I'm going to be over here casting with Ben for this first game. Hola. And if it goes poorly, I'm going to have to go be Captain America, Superman. It's just a superhero and go save the day, and there aren't I. I can't play, but I can talk to him. I'm going to say, get your crap in line.
Here's my question.
What's your question?
Will that help?
Well, it did against UNA.
Fair.
Last week, there was nothing I could say that could save them.
No.
They played like
Certainly
hot
not.
doo-doo. But here we go. On an Aquarius, this is Capture the Flag, one of our better map and mode picks, I would say, as we kill Camo, which is great here. Up 3-4, up 2-4, 2 guys down 4. This is RIT. Known to be a D1 team, but never really breaking the cusp of a top half team. Don't have severity, which you might remember, Ben.
I do know Severity, yes. The bane of my existence.
Very good player.
I'm kidding. I love Severity.
He is a very good player. One of the few Halo guys I didn't really get to know very much. Electra's playing a little bit of a dangerous game here on P2 out in the open when he was one shot. Gonna have to tell him a little bit about that, but good shots there and a perfection there.
He
Two
told
dead.
you.
Say what?
He told you.
He did tell me. Did he make up for it, you think?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
All right, well.
Certainly, I think so.
RIT
However,
pushing us over to the P side. Not great.
no, not lovely. However, still top control, so it's not a total loss.
Yeah, not the worst. Like, it's okay. But Dez pushes over, takes C3 control, which is what we want. The C side, car side. This is not a new map. This has been in other Halos, and they call it C and P side. So you have top P2, which is right there on your screen. This is yellow room. This is the side you want to control, because once you pick up that flag, you're going to want to run it over to this side, and it will be easier to take to your base. And a great nade kill there by Austin. 3 dead for RIT. This is the chance for SNU to get in there and get this flagpole.
Spawners up in back base and P side, though, and quick to take out our flag run, but we have One-Eyed Willie there to kind of scoop up and continue the run. And
yeah, a horrendous flag run right now, I will say. Pretty sloppy.
While
pretty
this
sloppy.
is true,
It worked.
Largely untouched. I don't quite know what happened there. I couldn't tell. Were we just getting slays?
I don't know. I couldn't really tell there either. One thing I do pride myself in this game is my flag running capability. I think it's very satisfying.
I enjoy myself a good flag run.
Oh, I know.
And nothing is more infuriating than clipping the flag on some
At the top of a
inanimate
doorway.
object. Yep, yeah.
Yes.
The
Camo
worst
up.
feeling.
Camo up here, and RIT is going to get the second 2 out of 2 here in the game as we just jump off of top mid control like freaking weirdos. One thing you gotta make sure you do is get camo, or else you're gonna have a tough time as 3 RIT players push into our blue room here. Great chance here for RIT as they get the flagpole, but pulling it out mid, not the greatest decision there. As
I feel like with 2 of our players still up, the mid-pull decision was not the best.
No, probably a miscommunication there by the team.
Probably, or just a desperate attempt to try and make something happen.
Yeah, sometimes when you're next to that flag and your shields get broken, you kind of just your blood pressure starts to rise, and
The idea is like, if I throw this out, someone will get it.
yeah, somebody will be there. And
Speaking of someone being there, there
yeah.
were 3 of them in yellow util.
and that's what we call an overheat. That was One-Eye Willie's specialty of running away from the team. It's okay. That was me. That was me.
When you've got that kind of killing ability,
He do got that swag.
He do got that swag on him.
And there he is getting another one. Not a very high kill game here. 7 being the most in the lobby, and
Whoa, yeah.
usually by this time you're seeing people push 15. I guess maybe not. This might be a regular scoring kill game, but a low scoring in general with the flag cap.
We're about halfway through the game, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, is it 12 minutes for cap? Yeah, so we're getting kind of close to being halfway through the game, and I feel like you're looking a little too much at RIT's side there. Our side, the boys getting kills.
Yeah, they are.
RIT's slowly getting there as well.
I think the boys taking a little bit of a slower approach here by SNU. Usually this is one of our faster paced maps, but I think we're trying to feel out the competition, and that we're doing a pretty good job keeping them at bay. Our flag has not reached farther than our table, which is our bottom base, so doing a good job of defense here, but I would like the boys to get a little bit more offensive. Yeah, this should be a free flag run and a 2-0 here as we get respawns in our back base.
Side. Going camo, though. That camo will get nowhere.
Good
P
shot.
side will die. I mean, 2 alive, both stuck in P.
That flag. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, Caden getting A little overzealous there for that kill, but still manages to get out with his life. Wow, that
Very lucky for Oak Assassin being there. He would have just got flown at P-side if he hadn't been there.
Oh yeah. I probably would have done it either way.
My commando doesn't do that.
Boys, making sure they keep top mid control, which is exactly what we want to do, and pushing out their room side. So we want to spawn them on this fridge, the right side of y'all's screen. Want to make sure we're spawning them over there because then they have to run all the way back in this back hallway to stop a flagpole. But now RIT going to get some control on mid-map, which is not good for the SNU boys, which this will probably end up in a team wipe for them and a reset. And a little bit of a 2v2 team fight here for top mid control, and that's gonna. What? That didn't do any damage? That's crazy.
Didn't do any damage, and I'm almost positive he stepped on it.
Yeah. Caden almost pushing through their P side, but realizing that's
What a
not a good
tragic
idea.
time to look away. Almost saw the guy in our base.
Not sure if we're calming very well because we need to get this guy out of our room.
I think the comms were coming through. I think we were having a hard time working towards it.
Yeah, looking for the collapse, and there it is. Now we fight our P side or our C side again,
Good
but
cross shots from RIT.
unfortunate camera there by an RIT player to get that kill on Austin. Brother Austin is what I call him. You know why I call him Brother Austin?
Could it be because he's Caden's brother?
Yes. Indubitably. Spell that.
Just makes me think of Friar Tuck.
From... Oh my gosh. Why can't I remember what book that's from?
It's a very old one.
I enjoyed that book in high school. I remember that, and I don't like reading.
We know.
What is that?
It's a...
It's not Robin Hood, is it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It is Robin Hood?
Yeah, it's Robin Hood.
Are you sure?
I'm almost positive.
Well, as we're
You
talking
asking me makes me less positive, but I was pretty sure when I said
that
it.
sounds right, but at the same time, I'm like, there's no way.
I'm pretty sure it is. Because I remember the Disney movie, and that's what I remember it from.
Okay. Well, RIT having a great offensive push here. Looking for a little bit of a chain, but should not be able to get this. And the boys not communicating very well here. Need to clear people out of our base first, then play for top mid control.
I just gotta say it. I'm not a fan of this bandit model.
Really?
Nope, never have been.
I don't mind it. I like the little design. Artistic.
Little design's fine. I don't like that it's wood.
You don't like that? I love that.
No, not a fan. I think that's probably the idea. Yeah, Santa's sleigh. And if you know me, I'm a notorious hater of Santa.
You don't like Hanta, so you
No.
don't Hanta. You don't like Santa, so you don't like joy.
Yes, yeah, that's precisely right, Drew.
Why,
I chose to play this game for esports.
Why have joy when you have Adderall? Am I right?
You might be right.
Adderall heals all. Kids, do not take that to heart. I don't mean that. It can help some things.
This is true.
Some play Halo better.
Wow,
Good
okay.
double kill there. 3 dead, 4 RIT.
I just gotta say,
yeah.
the bullet magnetism seems to be turned up a little higher today.
For Oak Assassin.
I just can never hit those shots. I do forget the spectator mode is funky. Still,
Austin doing a good
that
job.
was like
of playing
a
patient.
nice little pixel shot around the corner, and
Yeah. SNU making good plays, but not able to capitalize off of them right now, and I think that might be just a little bit of miscommunications and some things that they can fix here as we get
spawner.
through the series. But obvious that the
don't throw
SNU
the
boys
nade.
are better, but just a couple things that are equalizing this on the scoreboard.
I mean, every camo that goes their way is immediately killed, it feels like, which is what you like to see for SNU, but it's...
I'd rather us pick it up.
Yeah, yeah, but if you're going to see it go to them, It might as well just be an instant burn.
Oh my goodness.
I just gotta say, I love watching this map. I'm notoriously horrible at this map, though.
Really? I don't think you're too bad. I do think it might be a little fast-paced for your play style.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why sometimes I thrive on this map. But that's okay. Josh, our stream guy, throwing shade a little bit at my co-caster Ben here, who might have a little bit of a problem of going rogue onto the enemy team side.
I like getting behind them and taking their flag.
Yeah. Yeah, you do. You do. You do, in fact. One of the things that me and you have had some discussions about in our Halo career.
Real sneaky beaky leg.
Ben, why are you on their flag? I'm fighting for my life.
Here's the problem though, is that like 60% of the time it works out fairly well, which is why I continue to do it.
I would probably flip it 40 maybe, 60%. We lose a 4v3 and the game.
Y'all lose the 4v3.
Okay.
I'm on the flag.
There we go. SNU going to take the first game 2-1 as we hurry up and get to this scoreboard. I want to see it. Next map, we do have a Slayer Origin.
Now that I think about it, just win your 1v2, man.
I would have. There we go. Slayer Origin is our next map, but here we go. We're gonna look at the scoreboard here from this last game. Good offensive in general game from the boys. It's fast-paced map and more of a even scoreboard here, and that's what I like to see as we push towards this damage side. This is what I'm most excited to see. Good accuracy from everyone on the team. Chief a little bit low, but we'll get that up. But 5,000 and up for everybody on the team. That is good, and we have 2 7Ks with Oak Assassin leading the charge with 75. Ben, what is it? I know we didn't pay super good attention during that game, but what is something that you saw that after a horrible showing last week against a team we definitely should have beat?
Yeah.
What is something that you think maybe they might have worked on leading into this week?
Well, as far as what they worked on, I would expect comms were just a general stressing point, as they always should be, honestly. But I think stressing the communication and specifically call-outs as to when to play together, when to slow down, when to speed up, and kind of staying on the same page as to what needs to happen next.
I do think that is a big thing, and as the resident coach who can be in those comms during the games, which usually I am. I don't get to cast Halo. I'm usually talking to them while they play, which is allowed. I just want everyone to know that is allowed. And I will say it. Seeing the bigger picture is a problem for this team sometimes, and that's something I kind of have to say during the game. Like, hey, what are we trying to do? What is the goal with our setup? Wow, we're missing.
Hitting our clambers.
Good thing this isn't our team.
This is very true.
That was RIT.
Thought I was roasting my own team. So sorry.
But SNU going to take control of the snipe side as RIT gets the rockets. So the 2 power weapons on this map as Caden gets a little overzealous and needs to play his life there a little bit better. But right here, we're fighting for the snipe side. So what is the goal here as we play a Slayer first to 50 kills? As a coach, I would say play for a pick and let's collapse as they're all trapped in their back spawn. But in a rocket out, that should be 2 out.
Really unfortunate rocket for RIT.
And right here, SNU doing a great job. Going to get this 3rd out of 4 kills. Actually, they got all 4. They're going to spawn them out back into blue, and that's what I'm talking about. The boys playing for that snipe control, playing for a pick, and then collapsing. That's exactly what I want them to do, and we get a rocket out of it. Ben, just a picture perfect kind of push there. The only thing is that we lose one guy down, but a good push overall and a great chain here with 2 great team fights as we go up 12-4.
Yeah, honestly, Slayer's always been a really strong point for this team. So I would be disappointed if this wasn't how it was going.
Yeah, I agree. RIT, a formidable team, but one that we should put to bed fairly easily in a Slayer at least, but doing a good job of sticking around with SNU as it goes to 8-13 here. The boys playing a little bit disconnected, and a great shot there by War Machine to make it 9-13.
Honestly, some of what I'm seeing as far as our deaths here are just... we're talking about it. We feel very confident that RIT should be a team that we beat, and I think some of that is a little bit to SNU's detriment right now.
They might be thinking that, and it might change how they play.
Yes, I think we're kind of pulling some crazy chows because we're not respecting their gunny enough, you know?
I agree. And ego, a huge thing in Halo, college Halo in general. Lots of guys have seen their downfall because they just think they're the business.
I like the ego, but there's a time where you kind of have to have sort of a baseline of, all right, they're in D1, they have to have some gunny on them.
And SNU needing to figure this out quick as they're going to go up 17-15 and a complete switch here on this game.
And this is why it's particularly bad is if we just let them get a couple kills and all right, we're going a little nuts. Let's back it up. Let's calm down and reel it back in. We'd be fine, but I think we're letting it get away from us a little too far. I think it's I don't know if it's quite a spiral, but I think we let them kind of get a little bit more momentum than we should have.
Right. This new SNU team having a little bit of the same problem as the old last year's team where
they're just too cool.
Nope. Nope, we're not cool. Neither are they, I can tell you that.
Shade.
But Dez is pretty cool. Dez is pretty cool.
That's fine.
But great players that when they click, it's really good. Top 4 team probably if they're clicking. But if they're not, this is what I talked to them after their last practice. I said, our ceiling's really high, but our floor might be even lower. So once we figure out a way to get that floor raised to a point where we're consistent enough to beat teams or put up a fight against good teams no matter what, no matter how we play, that's when our playoff run starts.
Yeah, but there's something kind of fun about watching a team that could go from 100 to absolutely just crashing.
Yeah, we see it in this Slayer game, and as they are up a lot and go down by 3 and now are up 8 again. It's just a roller coaster of emotions here in this game, like this team has had this whole year leading up to this playoff stint here on November 20th.
That soon, huh?
Yeah, we need to get a couple of wins on our resume here to get our seed up, because the last thing you want to do is play a team like Fisher first round.
Don't I know it?
Don't we know it?
We've only ever played the 1 seeds in our playoffs.
That is true. We were not great at finishing out the year, were we?
No.
No, we weren't.
I also can't remember if the last one we played as a team was random or if it was seeded. I feel like it might have been random.
I don't remember either. We do get a bad draw pretty much every time. But up by 12 here is SNU as they, I hear the comms come in that we have some enemy combatants in our back base. And
ooh, 2 assists though.
one of the things I need Dez to work on is just his positioning. His gun skill has gotten a lot better, but he loses a lot of 1v1 opportunities because of how much of a chance he gives the other player. He's kind of out in the open, so maybe something we can work on there. But still, SNU up by 14 now, 13, with Caden on the sniper. The boomstick is what some might call it. I like
They
calling
don't call
it the
it that.
boomstick. That's what they call it in Call of Duty, so I don't want to hear you from the nerd. Oh my, boom, boom, boom. Give me another one. Let's get this last one. Boom.
Kind of nice.
Clip it, chat.
Clip it, chat. That body hop.
What?
Sorry, what?
I don't know. Boom.
All right, man.
I'm not the one that just had a stroke.
I think you're hearing things. The chase down begins.
And there it is. SNU going to win that one 50-33. A great second half.
Oh, great second.
If they put two halves like that together, that might be a 50-14 game.
Historically, SNU one half is completely different than the other.
Correct. That is correct.
No matter what team or combination of players.
Like father, like son.
Indeed.
There we go. Seeing One Eye Willie taking the top of the leaderboard with 19 kills, 7 deaths, 7 assists, 14.3 KDA, and every SNU player above the threshold to have a positive KDA. That's what you want to see. Damage dealt, also what you want to see. Pretty good spread there. Not one player kind of taking on the entire load, but yeah, they have a guy 1,800 damage. And guys, let me tell you, that's not great. That's okay. He can get better. It's not
Oh,
great.
100%.
He can get better though.
Severity was on the team.
Who's Gummy Snake Sugar?
I did wouldn't mind.
Are they gone?
Tummy.
Sounds so good.
They were great.
Strongholds.
You know, I think her name is like Olivia Dean or something. She made a new song like, "Can we get away?"
I'm unfamiliar with this Olivia Dean person. Josh, cue my music.
This is not Olivia Dean.
No, this is surely Olivia Dean.
This is Divya Lean. Okay, that's enough.
Doesn't this just put a different vibe to Halo, huh?
Yeah, bad one. All right, 2 go down for RIT White. This is Strongholds. Hold 2 out of the 3 points,
Or don't.
and you will get a point a second. Hold 3 out of 3. You will get 2 a second. And there we go. RIT gonna look to push through this B side as we take control of A and C. So we will begin scoring first. Caden again with the boomstick, looking towards this bottom tower. Josh.
Lewis.
AB now hold for
AB.
SNU, which is probably what you want in this map. Lattice, a pretty weird map with spawns. Kind of can get flipped around a little bit. Good, no scope there by Caden, looking for the double kill, but not going to get it. Going to rotate back ice, playing for his life. RIT going to go down 1, 3v4 here on the map. RIT yet to get close to a point to stop this bleeding. Great snipe, quick scope by Caden.
I hit those in my sleep.
Another
That's
opportunity here, gonna probably drop bottom ice, gonna get the double kill. Here we go, 2v3 here on the map for SNU. Great hold. Nobody needs to push out too hard. Caden needs to not overheat here. Giving RIT a little bit of an alley towards A.
Nah, he's hungry. He wants it.
He does, and that's the problem. Opting to push back towards B, and Chief gonna lose a 1v1 on A. That is going to be the first points on the board for RIT. But quickly, 2 down for RIT, going to be a third here in a matter of seconds, and SNU should be getting this A point back. But possibly losing the back spawns in blue, which is what we want to hold this AB.
Enemy team scoring.
My goodness.
Believe we just mossed an RIT player.
We did. But 3 RIT players now on A. And Oak Assassin going to have to play his life hard here. Should not give it up, and he does. SNU, like you said, I think maybe taking the enemy team a little lightly. I've
been guilty of it myself, so I can just kind of tell, you know?
It's fair. No nades here for Austin, so not going to be able to pick up this kill, but doesn't know there's another one close by. Oh, no. Yeah, this is
Oh, no.
Chief Jones. Oh, no. Going to lose that, and we will lose back blue spawns once again. Caden.
Here again, you see another moment where we got a little overheated, over-challenged, and we've kind of let him spiral away with some points here.
All right. Yep. 49 to 70 now as SNU is going to take control of AC. Start scoring points once more. But now the important fight is here with Chief in back Crystal as we fight for these blue
It's an
spawns.
interesting choice to go to Cat B immediately, but I guess when you're one eye, you really don't need to think about it too hard.
Worked out. Maybe trying to go for the triple cap for those double point options.
Very hard to do on this map with how fast the spawns allow people to get to the next point.
Yes, very much.
I hit those shots all day, by the way.
Yeah, I see it. I see it all the time.
160 ping, and I am quite good.
Quite. Ooh, Caden backing off here on that fight. Do not want to give up this sniper. A little bit of a jump peek,
There's like
Valorant style.
3 people looking at it. Both one shot. Dead. Dead.
Guys, why are we even fighting that?
This,
We're one shot.
You know what? I want RIT to win.
Should you say that on stream?
I want one for the boys.
I don't. I need our boys to get some confidence here.
No. I don't want them to win the series.
No, I don't want them to win a game.
Yeah, you're right. But I do kind of like want to see an underdog win, you know?
I don't know if we're that much favored right now after losing the full sale. Oh boy. RIT absolutely putting a tsunami down on A, not letting any SNU player cap it. And now it's probably going to be a little bit of a 2v2 here on the point, but
Doing
wow.
ye old dance around Crystal.
Yeah, that was an interesting move by RIT to leave the point, but going to get 2 kills out of it and maybe back blue spawns. Unless
I don't think
Caden
they
has
will
something
get
to say
anything
about
out
it.
of this except a blank melee. But teammate to come clean
There we
up.
go. SNU going to hold on to those back blue spawns and the 2 points to score. Good opportunity here for SNU as 3 players for RIT will be around A as we can absolutely collapse on this.
I just gotta say it. I despise this map. So far, nothing but maps I don't like, really.
I don't despise this map. I despise playing this map with people who despise this map.
This map's not fun.
It is fun when
Give me one thing that's fun about it right now.
the way you can literally just run around the map and
You can do that on other
Destroy
maps.
people.
What about this map is fun?
the rotations on it, the way you can run around and get behind people. Easy, it's easy.
See, I don't like spawning next to a guy that just spawned next to me. And just having to go, well, I guess we're duking it out. I was unprepared and unaware that I would be spawning next to you.
Great shots there by, who was that, Des? Oh, I'm gonna say that's
I don't know
Des.
your own players.
I don't know what guns they hold.
Bandit Evos.
We get somebody else on the mic. Des getting picked by a little bit of a guy back blue, trying to hide in the corner, but should know that that's not a great place to be.
It's the perfect place to be.
SNU doing a good job of making sure One Eye Willie, Caden has the sniper in his hands, and that is exactly why.
Freaky.
Yeah,
I don't know how I feel about this play from RIT.
all right, they're kind of just running around, but they're doing it as a team, which I admire.
That guy was solo.
Well, his teammates died.
Enemy team score.
I mean,
Not a ton you can do about that.
I see, but I
honestly.
just imagine me being on the receiving end of that shot, and it does irritate me somewhat.
Oh, yeah.
Thankfully, I don't have to be on the receiving end of it right now.
It's true. SNU needs to push into this back blue here to make sure we don't lose these spawns.
Defeat.
Oh, doesn't matter. We win 250 to 94. Doing a good job in that strongholds there. I think I might get in there for this last one. Ben, I'm going to leave it to you.
Is that not 3-0? Was that not third map?
Never mind. Gosh dang it.
I
I
was
meant
gonna
to
say,
get in there for one of them. Freak.
The boys did not need it.
No, they did not. It's good to know.
It is good to know.
So it should mean that whenever I'm in there, it should only get better.
I will say Chief with a max killing spree of 1.
Okay. You didn't have to say it.
it.
Damage dealt not actually as straight as I thought it would be. Need to
Skewed,
get,
I believe, is the word.
I don't think I care, is the saying.
It's the saying. It is.
Need to see the bottom two guys there getting up our damage a little bit, but all in today's work.
Truly. I mean, 3-0, what more can you ask for, really? You can perfect the craft more, but 3-0 is a 3-0 at the end of the day.
Yep, and at the end of the day, it is as SNU going to take a complete sweep on the day. League of Legends winning 2-0 and SNU Halo winning 3-0 against OBU and RIT White respectively. As our stream guy does the frat flick to the music, Ben, send us off.
Well, SNU, you know how it is. At the end of the day got to end.
And with that, we bid you adieu. Friday, our next games, Super Smash Bros. And not iRacing, but Rocket League. So
I race, you race, we all race.
ice cream. Good night.
The invisible, untouchable. Enough one.
You done